Alright ladies, when it comes to connecting with a man, physically, mentally, and spiritually, one of the most powerful qualities that all of you have is this, your touch. And if you don't believe me, try this today, okay? Ask any man that you know what his love language is, and I promise that 99% of them will mention physical touch. I have my own biological theories about why this is the case, but the point that I want you to understand is that there's something profound about knowing how and where to touch a man. That being said, I won't mention the one obvious body part. You know that you ladies don't need me to explain that one, right? So instead, I want to focus on other areas that you can use to tap into his emotional center, making him feel desired and deeply connected to you. My name is Ismael Gomez. I'm a coach, writer, and speaker, and I'm here to help women like you build deeper, more meaningful connections with men. Okay, so if you're ready, let's begin. Number 1, his chest. One of the most intimate and meaningful places that you can touch a man is his chest, especially right over his heart. For example, when you both lean in for a kiss, place your hand on this area, okay? You can even apply some light pressure, making him want to pull you closer. There's something comforting and grounding about feeling someone's hand in this rhythmic part of our body, you know, also because our chest is flat. It's a lot easier for you ladies to do this, okay? Like if a man tries to feel your heartbeat on the first kiss, it might seem that he's trying to grab something else. Another beautiful way to do this is when you're lying down together, okay? Rest your head on his chest and let that steady rhythm of his heartbeat fill the silence. This simple act creates an intimate moment of closeness that feels not only protective but also deeply personal to him, a quiet reminder that he is your safe place. The chest is a favorite for many men. I mean, I go on Reddit and I read so many guys saying these things, and for me it's also one of my favorite ones because it connects us to a sense of vulnerability, which we often guard so tightly. So by doing these things, you're breaking through those walls and inviting him to trust you on a deeper level. Number 2, his hair. Running your fingers through a man's hair can be as soothing as it is sensual, but tread carefully because some men are particular about their hairstyles, especially if they use gel or product. So to play it safe, focus on the back of his neck, right where the hairline starts. This area is often overlooked, but carries a lot of sensitivity. If you're sitting close, you can lightly trace your fingers or massage this area. It's intimate without being overly forward and creates a calming effect that many men love. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, Ismael, what if he's bald? Okay, no problem, you can always playfully rub his head like a crystal ball. I know that some women love that smooth texture, but actually, I had a client once who was dating an amazing guy, very consistent and kind, but she couldn't get over the fact that he was bald. So she ended up breaking up with him. And I mean, would you ladies consider that a deal breaker? Because I'm always interested to know what women want. And you know, I didn't tell her, I thought it was extreme. I didn't want to tell her that, but like, you know, I'm only here to guide people, not to tell them what to do. But I always felt like, damn, like if he's treating you so nicely, just give him a chance. I mean, buy him a wig or something if it makes you feel better. But let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
You want to know the truth? If you're going to have a long-term relationship with somebody, this is something people don't talk about ever, but I'll say it. You better stay attracted to them. Mm-hmm. You better have physical intimacy with them. Mm-hmm. And if you don't maintain that part of your relationship, like you keep dating, like, man, you start keeping it spicy all the time, physically, I'm talking about. What starts to happen over time is you start living with just your friend. If you allow your spouse to turn into just your friend, that you lose that intimacy, that physical connection. And so I think that's one part of your evaluation. How often do you touch each other? Do you hold each other's hands? At different stages of your relationship, physical intimacy can look different ways. I doubt at 80 years old, we're going to be doing what we do now. But I'm going to be dancing with her in the living room, I hope.
Number 3, his back. A man's back is an often underrated but incredibly effective area for fostering intimacy. The back carries tension, making touch or light scratches feel both relaxing and sensual. For example, if you're giving him a hug, okay, let your hands move up and down his back, gently squeezing any tight muscles that you find, and you can also lightly rub the back of his shoulders. I mean, that's a complete turn on. Or you can use your nails to give gentle scratches. This is going to create a soothing sensation that can be both comforting and arousing. So why is this area so irresistible to men? Well, the back is symbolically and emotionally tied to trust, which is why the phrase stabbed in the back resonates so deeply. When a man allows you to touch his back, he's letting you into a space that he instinctively protects. So it's just not about physical access, it's a gesture of emotional trust. Number 4, his lips. Okay, this one might seem obvious, but did you know that something as simple as a prolonged kiss can profoundly deepen intimacy and connection? I don't know if you heard of all this research being done on the 6-second kiss. And what it shows is that kisses that last more than 6 seconds, if you use this as a daily practice, it's going to release hormones like oxytocin and endorphins, which is going to strengthen the bond between partners. This is a simple way to reignite passion and show affection, especially if you have a busy schedule or you're in a long-term relationship where quick goodbyes often become the norm. It's about the conscious act of slowing down and reconnecting, okay? A moment that you look at your partner's eyes and you say, "You matter to me." Also, if you want to add an element of playfulness, you can always trace his lips with your fingers or, pausing just before leaning in for the kiss. These small personal gestures show him that you're being playful, you're teasing him, and he has your undivided attention and you're fully present in the moment. And final, number 5, his thighs. This is one of the most sensitive areas for men. This region is going to spark excitement and anticipation. So that being said, how do you put this into practice? Okay, well, let's say that you're sitting next to each other, all right? And he says something funny. Just slightly place your hand on his thigh, just above his knee, not too close, okay? And just a little dab, like, "Oh, that's so funny." Just a little touch. I promise you, he's going to feel this very deeply. Or if you're really already, dating for a while, if you sit on his lap and you place your hand on his other thigh as you're talking to him and laughing and looking into his eyes, I promise you, this is just the biggest turn on ever. But the key in all of this is to be subtle with your movements, okay? Focus on a slow build-up. Don't rush it, don't be too aggressive, and let the moment linger and allow the anticipation to grow. Alright ladies, so the last point that I want to make is that no matter which of these areas you focus on, the secret to making your touch unforgettable is to take your time, okay? Slowing down allows you to savor the moment and build anticipation. Remember that your touch needs to be intentional and deliberate. A lot of the times men just want to rush through intimacy, alright? So you're the one who needs to slow him down to deeply connect with him. And I always give the analogy when it comes to intimacy or your touch, don't be McDonald's, don't be like the fast food place. Be a fine dinner, right? With the appetizer, then the meal, then dessert. You want everything to be slow and deliberate. And to go through the list again, we have placing your hand over his heart, running your fingers through his hair, rubbing or slightly scratching his back, intentional kisses that last longer than 6 seconds, and resting your hand on his thigh. Let me know if you have any questions about any of these. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Anyways, thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm glad that you've chosen me to learn about self-love, dating, and relationship dynamics, because like I always say, for your relationships to change, you need to change, okay? Have a beautiful day.